Hello, lovely people. It's Nicola back in the Stitches and Slapdashery sewing room. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed right now, and sometimes you just have to try and distract your mind from the to-do list, ignore the phone for a little bit, and do something you love, which in my case is doing a little bit of filming for you guys. Oh boy. In addition to learning a new job, I have been helping to organize a festival. It's nearly here. It's on Sunday. And my WhatsApp has been buzzing what feels like every 5 seconds for days. And today I went and picked up the keys for the hall, and I also bought a 1,000-foot roll of caution tape so that we can fence off the vendor area on the outside. We've got indoor and outdoor vendors. My job has been to collect donations for the silent auction, and all of the pre-festival collections have been done, except for one. I have to pick up one more thing tomorrow because it's fresh produce, so we don't want it to go off before Sunday. And on Sunday morning, the first couple hours are going to be a bit insane because there's going to be some vendors who are giving me their donations at the last minute, and we'll have to build baskets real quick. So it's going to be fun. The day will be a whirlwind. I just know it. I'm hoping it's not going to be too warm. The forecast for the last 2 days has been like low 20s, but it's been hotter. And my plan, as many of you may already know, is to wear a pink fleece onesie so that I can be a pig, at least for part of the day. I have a dollar store hairband. Not sure about the knot on the top. Hoping I can maybe minimize the look of that. But I'm going to, in a minute, I am going to faff about with some fleece and try and construct ears that will attach to that and stand up in the most desirable way. Oh, yes, I have housework I need to do today. Things are looking a little grubby around here because it's been a busy week. But I thought I'm going to do the ears first because that'll give me something to focus on. I have got a little bit of extra stress thanks to my laptop dying yesterday. If ever there was a time when I really needed my laptop, it's this weekend. And I've been using it all the time to keep track of all the spreadsheets we've got going. There's vendor spreadsheets, there's donation spreadsheets, there's volunteer spreadsheets. I switched my computer off 2 nights ago. And in the morning, I went to switch it on and it wouldn't switch on. It just didn't, nothing. And I did have a little accident with a glass of water that tipped across my coffee table, but it barely touched the laptop. So it's not water damage, I'm sure of it. My son did actually open it up to make sure there was no water inside it, and there was not. I'm convinced it's just a glitch. A nasty glitch in the matrix, which I could have done without. Said youngest son has also been a hero and managed to get my data from Microsoft, so not all is lost at least. There might be something that gets lost, but I won't really know until I get everything back up and running. It's still under warranty. I've only had it a few months, so I'm going to take it to Best Buy tomorrow and hopefully they can get me a new one. For now, I do thankfully have a very old laptop that I got a very long time ago that I just tucked away in my sewing room when the other one came into the house. And I'm very glad I didn't do anything drastic with it because I think I can use that on Sunday in a pinch. I mean, I could do spreadsheets on my phone, but it's so hard, so much harder on a tiny screen, isn't it? You know, when you get to a certain age, you like large print, you like to be able to see things clearly. It's easier to see the whole spreadsheet at a glance instead of having to see just a tiny slice of it. Oh well, fun times. So I do have a little bit of sewing space. To my left here, my sewing table is messy, but it's got the usual crap on it. On the other hand, if I look right, I have about 40 gift baskets. Honestly, I was so glad to put away all the inventory from the summer market, because then I had all of my surfaces clear. Well, I have all the gift baskets that we built last weekend piled on this table, and overflowing onto the floor. I'll show you it in a minute. I'll do a little scan of it so that you can see what it looks like. So there's no way I'm doing any rotary cutting or anything, because there's no room to do that. So it's just as well I didn't have a big project planned. Piggy is a small project, and I can just do it all on my sewing table. So all these baskets will be going to the haul this weekend, and of course they won't all get picked up by the winners this weekend. So a lot of them will be coming back home with me, sadly. And I'll probably have to store them for at least another week until we have a pickup day at a local restaurant. Oh dear, enough whining. Enough whining. If you're still here, we're going to do a make-along progress, okay? I have done some more on my make-along coat. If you haven't been here before, I'm running a slapdash colour make-along. So I called it slapdash because of the channel name, of course, and colour because it's colourful, make-along because it's not just one thing, it's crochet, knitting or sewing, and 2024 because that's the year. And I decided for my project that I was going to make the Technicolor Dream Coat by Earth Tricks, because it's been in my Ravelry queue for a long time and I love it. To be honest, I prefer her colorways. She has a more, they're colorful, but they're not quite as crazy as my color arrangement. You can decide for yourself. Let me put on what I've done so far. I'm using 12 colors of Loops and Threads Impeccable, which is a 100% acrylic worsted weight yarn. And I'm just making it up as I go along, really. Obviously, I'm following the pattern for which stitch to do where, but for the colors, I'm just taking it one stripe at a time. I don't have an overall plan, and that probably shows. Let's see. I'll lower you down a bit. Hold on a minute. Okay, hopefully you can see a bit more of it now. So it fits fine. I did open up that neckline a little bit, like I said last time. It's a perfect fit because at the front there's going to be a couple of front bands. So she said that it should only just meet in front because there's going to be more crochet edging later on. Still attached to my ball. Happy with the armhole fit, so that's all good. I don't know if you can see all the way down to the bottom there. Hopefully you can. I'll take it off and hold it up just in case. So here's the color progression. I almost started with a rainbow and then changed my mind because I didn't want to be too predictable. I really love this pom-pom row, and then we've got lots of double crochet in the back loop to make this ridge, a little bit of surface crochet here, another pom-pom row, and this row is Catherine wheel done in gold, pink, pink, gold, and then surface crochet. Now I'm a bit concerned about that because it didn't look as filled in as hers did. So there's a few little gaps in here. And after I added the purple row, It was the same amount of stitches, but it's flaring out a little bit. It's almost looking a little roughly. So I don't know whether, what I suspect actually is that this row has sucked it in rather than this is flaring out, because I know the stitch count is correct. So it's a bit wild and wacky, but it's coming along well. It's down to my hip level now. So that's good. So if you're joining in with the Mal, pop a comment down below so that I know where you're at. We're posting pictures to the Instagram hashtag /colormal 2024, spelt with a U in the word colour. And you can tag me at Stitches and Slapdashery so that I see it. And I will try and remember to do the same, because I'm a little bit full of other stuff right now. So what's been happening apart from that? Apart from the crochet and the festival? Work. Finished my 3rd week of shifts at Michael's. Oh my gosh, I am so tempted to buy some of the yarn there. There's a yarn sale on right now at Michael's, 30% off all of it. I have seen these balls of something called Karen anniversary cakes. Have you seen those? They are massive. They are bigger than my head. 1 kilogram in a ball. It's super bulky yarn, 100% acrylic, massive. There's only, I think, 2 colors left. They may have had a lot more, but at the moment they have a big ball that's shades of red and a big ball that's shades of green, and they're $44.99 each, less 30%. And I worked out that if you were comparing to 100-gram skeins, which is a good thing, just way to sort it out in my head, it works out at $3.15 for 100 grams plus tax. I thought, that's not bad. And I thought, do I really, really, really need to buy a massive, massive ball of Karen anniversary yarn? I'm not usually that enamored with Karen yarn. I have to say, I have not used it a lot, and I don't find it to be the best quality. But with Christmas coming, I just thought, with a kilogram of red variegated yarn and a kilogram of green variegated yarn, you could make a fantastic Christmas blanket. And it would grow really quick, and I could have that as my Vlogmas project, couldn't I? Oh man, I think I'm talking myself into it here. It's dangerous. It can be dangerous working in a craft store. It's also pretty tiring because I'm on my feet all the time, and I seem to be splitting my time between the floor, the cache, and I even got around to cleaning a bathroom yesterday. That was fun. But mostly it's putting things on shelves, tidying things on shelves, and answering customer questions. Oh man, mostly it's answering customer questions, putting things away, and tidying things up. That's mostly what the job entails, and cashier relief as well when it's break time. And I have to say, I have got a lot more confident on it. Oh dear, I remember the first few days, it was just terrifying, but now I'm feeling, okay, I think I can handle most situations now. And if not, you can always call a manager over and say, what do I do with this? They're all really nice there. I did make some plum preserves this week. Now, I'm not calling it jam. I think there's some sort of proportion of sugar to fruit, which means you can only call it jam if it's like really high in sugar. I don't know. But this is one of my little jars of plum preserves. And I had all these prune plums from my second trip to the market and I picked them myself. It was a U-pick because they were super cheap that way. And I wasn't eating the fresh plums as fast as I did the first box. I guess the novelty wore off a little bit. So what I ended up doing, I didn't use a recipe. I just thought, okay, I'm going to use 8 cups of plums, 4 cups of coconut sugar. I didn't have enough of the other kind, so I used coconut sugar, which gives it a lovely caramelly flavor. Oh, it's so nice. And the juice of 4 lemons, hoping that that might help set it up even more. And so I just boiled it up and let it simmer for as long as I could. I did this before going to work one morning this week, so I didn't have a lot of time to spare. So as soon as I got out of bed, I got that simmering and then went off and did the other things I had to do. And then I popped it into jars. It made 6 jars like this. Is that a 1 cup size? I think it is. Maybe. I think it's a 1 cup size. And then I just sealed it all up. I sterilized my jars, of course, sealed it all up with the 2-part lids properly, and then put it in the fridge. And then this morning, decided it was time to have some toast with some vegan butter and some of this. And oh my God, it was so good. So it's not too sweet because it's only half sugar to fruit, which is good. And because it's so flavorful because the coconut sugar imparts that extra, not just sweetness, but extra flavor. If you've never had it, it really is worth trying. It's delicious. So before I carry on and sew my pig ears, I will just do a little sweep of my sewing room so that you can see the disaster that it is right now. Look at the disaster that is my sewing room. Donations on the floor, donations on that table in the corner, donations on this table, making it completely unusable to sew. And of course, this is my sewing table with the fleece on the chair waiting to be turned into ears. I have lots of spare from making the onesie. So next thing is clear this surface off so I can actually use it. Okay, peeps, it's time for a laugh. This is the pink fleece onesie that I sewed a few months ago. It's very warm and cozy, which is going to be a challenge on a warm fall day, but I really want to dress up as a pig at this festival. I'm not going to zip it all the way because it's going to interfere with the microphone. So I did the tail. Let me stand on the chair. Okay, let's hope I just stand on the chair and don't decide to fall off it and break my leg. Hold on, there's a basket in the way. Of course there is. Okay. Can you see? Am I too high? I don't know. Anyway, I just got one of my kids. 2 of my kids just came home from work and they were home early from work. So I got one of them to pin the tail. I don't know if you can see that. Pin the tail at the bottom where my tailbone is. And I sewed it on. I sort of hot glued the tube closed so the wire wouldn't pop out. And I turned the top of the wire over a bit so it's not pokey. And I sewed it right there. I can't see without my glasses, so I'll just have to wait till I'm editing to make sure you can actually see that. So far so good. All right, I made myself a hand-drawn template for a pig ear, and I decided I needed to have it a little bit folded at the top to make it look fairly realistic. So then I did a sort of a drawing as if it was unfolded and added a seam allowance. So I cut it out in fleece both ways, and originally I was going to sew it on, but the sewing wasn't working out. So what I ended up doing is hot gluing it. Hang on, before I put this on, I'm going to make this tall again so that you can see the head and not my middle. Okay. So I also hot glued a whole bunch of this knot at the top downwards so that hopefully it's not sticking up. It's the first time I've put it on. You think they look all right? I hope they're not too high. I think pigs' ears tend to be quite floppy. But hey, at least they are standing out and not collapsing. And I think the reason for that is that after I had hot glued them, I folded this fabric back along the edge and stuck that to the ear, and on the back I did the same. It's pretty comfortable. Oh dear. Okay, so let's just get the full effect. Let me move the microphone up to here. I think because I can't sit in my car, are you seeing me? Am I at the right level? Yeah. Because I can't sit in my car with the tail on without squishing it, I will obviously go on the day in regular clothes, and then I can hop off to the bathroom at some point and just strip down to like underwear and a tank top. I've got a pink tank top, and then I'll put this on top. And then probably by lunchtime, I'll be ready to rip it off and I'll get back in my regular clothes again. But there, it's all done. It's a lovely evening. The sun's gone down and it's a bit breezy and a bit cool, and it's lovely. My old laptop has been a struggle today. I did manage to transfer my film clips onto it and edit, but it was a very slow, laborious process. So I'm keeping it shorter tonight. I'm signing off here, and I'm hoping that it won't take 10 hours to upload to YouTube. If it does, I'm going to have to go back to the little app on my phone for editing until I get a new laptop, which I hope isn't going to cost me any money, because I think they should replace the one that I had because it was quite new. So thanks for joining me today. I will be back soon with another Make Along update, probably after the weekend, and I'll give you a little debrief of the festival. And there may not be much crafting involved because it's going to be such a busy weekend, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.